And once I started having an interactive conversation with my audience, it became so much better, this social experience of having meaningful conversations, seeing their live reactions to things I'm doing on stream. No, real talk in general, I'm just tired of people complaining about everything I do. No, everything Phil does is wrong. If I done New Game Plus, that was wrong. New Game, that's wrong. Listening to the audience, wrong. Not listening, wrong.
A few moments later.
No one's answering, so I guess I'm playing for myself. I said the whole point of me doing a New Game run was that chat was going to interact, tell me what to do and stuff, and they're ignoring me.
Hello everyone, and today we're once again talking about DSP, or DarkSydePhil. That is because he just had an interview supposedly addressing everything.
I think this is an opportunity for me to come on a show and be honest, transparent as much as I can.
And if you're unaware of who DSP is, I'm going to be breaking down a little bit of the lore as we go along, but I did make a full video, a mini doc on DSP before, if you do want to learn a little bit more after this video. I do go over a lot of his e-begging and detractors, but to start with the interview, there was a lot of talking in circles and contradictions.
So why have me on a show when people feel like all I'm going to do is not answer the questions you're going to ask me, not provide any additional information to things I've already said? You know, people think I'm just going to be here for a fluff piece or something.
And after watching the full 5-hour interview, I did feel like I lost some brain cells, but thanks to the interviewers being the way they are, straightforward and to the point, did not let him just get away with it the whole time.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit. That's right, she's too valuable to escape. She's worth lots of money.
One of the first points the interviewers pressed DSP on was his edgy sense of humor, where that clip was from about a year ago to date.
It sounds like you were making a joke about selling that little girl to the slave trade. How is it not that? Like, what did you mean?
Oh no, that's absolutely, that's the joke. But there's a difference between saying that's okay and it's funny, or the ridiculousness of the situation. See, you just saw that clip completely out of context, correct? You don't know what's going on in the game right there.
Now here's the contradiction. DSP says yes, that is what the joke is, but actually you don't know the full context, which the context doesn't exactly matter when he just said that is what the joke was about.
From going from a sheriff who is like trying to kill people to seeing a little black girl and thinking a slave trade. You know what I mean?
Now you said it. Now you said it.
See what?
You said black girl.
It was on
that's
screen.
That's correct. That's correct. And herein lies the problem.
What?
I didn't think that. In my mind...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
You're
matter.
right. You're right. I agree with you. But in my mind, I didn't even see that. I didn't think that. That's,
okay.
You know, the joke was, this is a scumbag sheriff. He's literally lying to everyone. If he's going to traffic someone for profit, I wouldn't be shocked. It wasn't, she's a black girl going to the slave trade. And that's stupid of me. Why the hell did I not make that connection in my head?
Well, you blew it.
You blew it!
And the fact that he's saying that he does not make that connection in his head is kind of funny, considering the types of jokes he would say in the past were very racially motivated.
This is what happens when you let the Jews do whatever they want. You've let the Jews overrun space, and now look at this. Hello, Jew. You stupid moron. You big nose freak.
Racist jokes are silly if you do them in a general fashion. And what I mean by that is when you make a joke that's a racial generalization about a race, so, you know, say something about the Italian race.
I'd say it's a little bit sus that he didn't go there in his mind when it was so common for him to do before. Now they move on to DSP's financials, his e-begging, his bankruptcy, his business expenses, and so on. And just so we're aware, people did leak his bank information, so everyone knows relatively what he spent his money on around that time. And I did and still do not condone the leaking of his information. I am very against doxing and bringing people's families into YouTube drama.
It really is, because I could say right now, if I had a bunch of sponsors on my stream, absolutely would things financially be better? Would the pressure be taken off of me to earn on a stream? Yes, absolutely it would. Always been critical of people who shill. And there's a difference between, oh, I have a sponsor today and I shill. There is. I know that. But then there's people who, like, they try every opportunity to monetize. Everything they possibly could. Every aspect of what they do is a monetization. Please continue to tip. That helps a ton. The tips are my life's blood day to day. I can't have tips completely drying up now in the next several weeks because we have gifted memberships. That would literally be disaster for me. I would not be able to pay anything. That would be really, really, really bad. If I need to buy a new game today, tips pay for it. Coming up, my day off on Tuesday, grocery shopping, tips. If I have a meal with my wife, tips. You see? The tips are very important.
I don't think I need to give you the definition of hypocrite, but that sounds a little bit like hypocrisy.
You know, there's this $5,000 business expense every
Right.
month. So
Right.
what is this?
Okay, so first of all, we're talking about things that came out publicly during a bankruptcy proceeding, correct? And I believe that the $5,000 a month number came off of, I believe it's from a tax return. Correct?
Hold on, Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff? I mean, like...
Specifically, no, I don't. I give it all, I pay him a lot of money to a tax guy. I have a giant, spreadsheet of data that I provide. I would assume that the expenses are including everything that I do. Okay, that's related to the business, and that could include mortgage, any insurance that I'm paying that relates to the business, health insurance and or medical costs, legal costs. And that what I'm talking about is my tax attorney, but also other attorney and things that I've been involved in over the years.
Now, this still sounds pretty sketchy. $5,000 a month in business expenses sounds a little strange. I was looking up, what do self-employed people do for business expenses? And, I found this. A portion of your mortgage or rent, property taxes, cost of utilities, repairs and maintenance, and similar expenses can be business expenses, but it has to be specifically for what you're using for your business. Say you have an office, 10% of your home is being used for business. That is how much you can try to deduct. So that means, according to what I've read, he can only deduct some utilities, some from his mortgage. He cannot deduct anything from his car, which he did mention. So allegedly, he could be committing some sort of tax fraud, but I'm not going to look too much deeper into that than what I already have.
Do you currently still play WWE Champions?
Yes, the name of the account was They Call Me DSP. Okay?
Which is also your Twitter handle.
That's correct. That is not my account in the game.
What is your account in the game?
That I'm not going to say.
People have been very aggressive with you to the point to where they have leaked bank statements from you, right? And that's obviously not cool at all. According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars. Were those your transactions?
No.
Now, for confusion's sake, if you don't have any context as to what he's talking about or why people wonder if he's still playing WWE Champions, people think he spent over $100,000 in the game based upon these bank leaks. And the account, They Call Me DSP, which is also his Twitter handle. Well, according to DSP, that does not belong to him. The They Call Me DSP and Down from the Rafters, which it was changed to later, is not him. But why would they change it from They Call Me DSP if it's a troll? You'd think that they'd leave it as is to continue to troll DSP and other people. Now, it is the supposed bank leaks that proves that it was DSP's account and he had spent X amount of money in the game. Well, now DSP is saying that was never his bank leak.
So those were not tied to you at all?
No. The bank leaks. Now we have to get into the identity theft thing, okay? Those bank
Go ahead,
leaks.
explain it then.
Sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. That is not my account.
So it's the person who took your identity was spending money on the Apple Store?
No, that's not my account at all. I've had a lot of issues that happened with identity theft that same summer, but they used that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory and say that was me, and it's not. And idiots on the internet wanted to find like a scapegoat or a reason why I shouldn't get bankruptcy. And so they had this insane, crazy, overblown conspiracy theory.
I like how everything is an insane, overblown conspiracy theory with DSP. I don't like the bank leaks, but I don't understand why he would lie about them either. What does he have to gain? Exactly. Most of the stream, he victimized himself because of his quote-unquote detractors. So why wouldn't he own up to this leak when it seems pretty plausible it is his leak to begin with?
So you're saying, just so we're on the same page, you're saying that this account that is not yours, that had thousands of dollars of fees to the Apple Store consistently, that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts in the game that we're talking about, WWE Champions, and it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
You're saying that is not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
It seems awfully convenient.
It does seem awfully convenient. The account name changed, and conveniently, these bank leaks are not DSP's, so somebody's been spending a lot of money on mobile games. I'm just saying, he wants to be a perpetual victim. So, having your personal information leaked would be the ultimate victim card for DSP. So far, throughout this interview, it feels like every major point they hit on, he's sort of lying to get out of it. Like, I've changed, I'm a different person, I don't make those edgy jokes anymore, I don't even think in a sort of racist way, but he obviously has in the past very heavily. And somehow he's always in financial ruin because some reason or another, and it always falls on his fans to survive.
That you guys are amazing entertainers, but just not in the way that you want to be, right? You're lolcows, but there's so much value there. By putting the three of you together, and you know, each one of you would own 25% of this podcast, all right? We never got to have this conversation, so I do want to have it now, even though I know you're not going to do it, all right? I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect of it. Three of you would be in a situation where you didn't really trust me, or you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, and you'd have a lot of doubts. So I was just going to take my own money and take $150,000, give you each, just to start off before we even filmed an episode, 50 grand up front to let you know that I was serious and I believe in this concept and this idea.
You heard that right. Keemstar was trying to get a lolcow podcast together with Wings, Boogie, and DSP. Where Wings and Boogie were down to do this podcast, and DSP kind of just ghosted Keemstar. And it's crazy to me how he didn't take this offer. 50 grand up front is a lot of money, and this of course would have been really helpful for DSP since he's always broke and needs to pay his bills.
I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid f***ing trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me so I could catch up on back taxes, making large stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my laugh sounds like act.
And the reason DSP did not take this offer may shock you.
But when you look at how Keem made his money, again, I'm going off documentaries and things I've seen. You always feel from your perspective, because there's always two perspectives on everything, right?
Holy Phil, I gotta say, this is rich coming from you right now, though.
Yeah,
you're getting your information from the detractors that Keem has, and that's where you're basing this on. When this whole episode, you have been talking about how much your detractors have made other people think about you. Like, do you hear yourself right now?
Indeed, I do. That's the nature of the beast. That's how YouTube works, man. So, from what I've heard and seen about Keem, you know, I call them a misery broker. All right, Keem, on a day when you have a good day, it's because someone else is having a bad day.
So the main reason DSP doesn't want to work with Keemstar is because he's a quote-unquote misery broker. So he turned down 50 grand to help himself because of his moral compass. To me, this sounds absolutely ludicrous. To my knowledge, for starters, I don't think Keemstar has scammed anyone to have, like, dirty money. He talks about people on the internet, and that gets him money. I don't really get his logic, and he is using documentaries and supposed detractors of Keemstar to get his information when he's saying that all his detractors have everything wrong, nothing is right. In conclusion, DSP seems to be a liar and a hypocrite. He seems to be most likely lying about, for starters, the Edgy Joe, WWE champions, his bankruptcy, $5,000 in work expenses, and his bank leaks. Allegedly, of course. And he seems to be a hypocrite because he doesn't want to quote-unquote chill to his audience when he begs for money pretty consistently. And as someone who begs for money from his fans, thinks that Keemstar's way of making money is immoral. And I'm not a fan of Keemstar by any means, but at least he puts more effort into his content than DSP does. Anyways, that is the end of the video. I would first like to start off by saying thank you to all my channel members, especially my tier 3 members, my super Nekos. Your support does mean a lot to me, and more members exclusive content is on the way. And if you would like to become a member, the link is down in the description below, or if you would like to join the Discord, the link is also down there for that. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money.